Hello everyone, welcome to the online lecture series of the course EE 204 Digital Electronics and Logic Design, Module 5 Synchronous Counters and State Machines. Today we are going to discuss about the synchronous mode low end counter. In the last class we have seen a mode 6 counter and today we are going to design a mode 10 counter. We have already know what is a mode 10 counter. A mode 10 counter has 10 valid states 0000 to 1001. Since the sequence from 0000 to 1001 represents the equivalent binary of the decimal numbers from 0 to 9 and hence a decade counter is also called as a BCD counter. To count 10 states we require a minimum of 4 flip-flops. We are going to design this counter using JK flip-flop and the excitation table of JK flip-flop is as shown in the left side of the slide. On the right side we can see the state diagram. Here the state diagram, instead of the binary pattern I have represented with the decimal numbers itself. So you can represent either in binary or in decimal according to your convenience. So starting from this initial state 0, the counter will increase its count by 1 for each clock pulse, and at the end of 10th clock pulse the counter will return to its initial state 0. So you can see that as a ring starting from its initial state 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. up to 9 and returning back to this initial state 0. These 10 states will form as a ring and it will be repeating. The 6 invalid states 10, 11, etc. up to 15, they are also shown in the state diagram and the concept of that will be explained later. Now let's complete the design table for obtaining the minimal expressions for flip-flop inputs. The first 4 columns represent the present state, next 4 represents next state, and the last set of columns represents the input of each of the flip-flops. In each row you have to write the states starting from 0000 to 1001. Once you complete the present state columns, now you have to complete the next state column. If present state is 0000, next state will be 0001. Like that, if present state is 1001, next state will be 0000. Based on the present state column and next state column of each of the flip-flop, you have to obtain the excitation required for the corresponding flip-flop by making use of the excitation table. Since there are 6 invalid states for this counter, for design purpose, these invalid states are treated as don't care types. On left side, we can see the K-map for JA, and on simplification, JA is obtained as QB, QC, QD. And on right side, we can see the K-map for KA and K is obtained as QD. On left side we can see the K-map for JB, and on simplification JB is obtained as QC QD. And on right side we can see the K-map for KB, and KB is also obtained as QC QD. On left side we can see the K-map for JC, and JC is obtained as QA bar QD. On right side we can see K-map for KC, and KC is obtained as QD. On left side we can see the K-map for JD, and JD is obtained as 1, and on right side we can see the K-map for KD, and KD is obtained as 1. So in order to better understand the concept of a mode 10 counter, let's have a simulation. Here also you can see a similar circuit diagram as in the previous slide. The only difference is that, as said in the previous lecture, the preset inputs are given to the flip-flop with the help of a switch. Now checking the asynchronous input, making the asynchronous input preset to 0 will set all the flip-flop, and making the clear input to 0 will reset all the flip-flop. Here the first flip-flop output QD is the LSB and the last flip-flop output QA is the MSB. The first flip-flop J and K are both equal to 1, and hence this flip-flop will be working in the toggle mode. Second flip-flop, the K input is the output of first flip-flop which is 0, and J input is the output of the first AND gate. Since one of its input is 0, its output is also 0. The J and K input of a third flip-flop is the output of second AND gate, and since both the input of AND gates are 0, its output will be also 0. The K input of last flip-flop is the output of first flip-flop which is 0, and the J input is the output of AND gate. Since both the input are at logic low, the third AND gate output is also 0. So the first flip-flop alone will change its state to 1, whereas all the other flip-flop output remains in the same state. On applying first clock pulse, the counter output thus changes to 0001. Now on the next clock pulse, the output changes to 0010, Next clock pulse output is 0011. Next clock pulse output is 0100. Next clock pulse output is 1001. Next clock pulse output is 0101. Next clock pulse output is 0110. Next clock pulse output is 0111. Next clock pulse output is 1000. Next clock pulse output is 1001. So far we have given 9 clock pulse. On the 10th clock pulse, the output resets to its initial state 0000. This completes one cycle of operation of the counter. Now let's check the conditions for lockout. The table below is to check for the lockout condition. The first set of columns represent the present state, the second set represents the present inputs, and the last set represents the next state. On each rows we have to write the 6 invalid state starting from 1010 to 1111. Now we have to complete the present inputs based on the present state. Let's check the first case. For present state 1010, since the first flip-flop J and K are connected to high, JD and KD are both equal to 1. Since first flip-flop output is connected to K input of second flip-flop and K input of last flip-flop, KC and KA value will be 0. Since the J input is the output of first AND gate and one of its output Q is 0, JC is also 0. The input J and K of third flip-flop is the output of second AND gate, and since one of its input is 0, both JB and KB is also 0. The last flip-flop input J is the output of the third AND gate, and since the output of the second AND gate acts as one of its input and its value is 0, the output of the third AND gate is also 0. That is, JA is 0. Now we have to complete the next state columns. For fourth flip-flop, JA, KA, present state is 1 and the inputs are 0, 0. So next state is also 1. For the third flip-flop, present state is 0 and JB, KB inputs are 0, 0, and hence next state is also 0. For second flip-flop, JC, KC inputs are 0, 0. Since QC is 1, QC plus 1 is also 1. For the first flip-flop, JD equal to 1 and KD equal to 1. Since QD equal to 0, QD plus 1 will be equal to 1. Similarly, we have to analyze the present inputs for each of the present state, and based on that you have to complete the next state. I completed the table for all the 6 invalid states. Now continue with the simulation. Now we are going to apply the clock pulse for invalid states. So we need to preset the flip-flop. The first invalid state is 1010. So you have to open the first and third flip-flop so that their outputs are not affected by the preset signal. So changing the preset to 0 will set the second and fourth flip-flops and makes the output to 1010. Now on applying first clock pulse, the output changes to 1011, and on the second clock pulse, the output changes to 0100. Coming back to the state diagram, we have already seen from state 10 the counter changes its state to 11, and from that the counter changes its state to 4. Similarly, we can verify for the remaining 4 states also. That is, from state 12 the counter changes its state to 13 and again changes to state 4, and from state 14 the counter changes its state to 15 and later changes to the initial state 0. So from the 6 invalid state, the counter will return back to a valid state after 1 or 2 clock pulse. The counter is not experiencing any lockout problem. So we can verify that using the simulation again. Now we are going to set the initial state as 12. So we need to make the preset inputs accordingly. Third and fourth flip-flops are connected to preset, and changing its value to 0 will set those flip-flops. Now the present state is 1100, that is 12. On applying first clock pulse, the output changes to 1101, that is 13. And on applying second clock pulse, the output changes to 0100, that is 4. Now again set the next invalid state, that is 14. Applying the preset to 0 can set the counter state to 1110, that is 14. On first clock pulse, the counter changes its state to 1111, that is 15. and on the second clock pulse the output changes to 0 0 0 0. That is the initial state. So here also, if the counter is in any of the invalid state initially, after 1 or 2 clock pulse it will return to one of the valid state. Now let's check the timing diagram. On the first clock pulse, the counter changes its state from 0 0 0 0 to 0 0 0 1. Like that, at the end of 10th clock pulse, counter changes its state from 1 0 0 1 to 0 0 0 0. Here you can see the MSB bit is at logic low for the first 8 clock pulse and at logic high for the remaining 2 clock pulse. So here the duty ratio is 2/8 or 1/4. Also, observing the frequency of the MSB bit timing diagram, we can see that the frequency is 1/10th of clock frequency as expected in a mode 10 counter. So I hope with this explanation and simulations you are familiar with the concept of a mode 10 or decade or a BCD counter.